Hi friends, I'm Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another reading vlog, and as you saw from the intro, I'm going to be reading The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Amelie Wen Zhao. So this is book 1 in a YA fantasy duology, and this one just came out this past March. And I have started this, so I have made it to chapter 11, page 138. So first, let me tell you a little bit about what this is about, and then I'll share my thoughts so far. Hi, editing Ashley here. So as I was going through the footage where I talk about the book and give my first thoughts, I realized in that footage I have like crazy eyes and like really bad crazy eyes, and they're really bothering me to the point like I almost thought about scrapping this entire video. But I do really want to share my thoughts about this book, so I decided that I'm going to take the audio from those clips and add it to the footage I was going to show next. Because my next footage is of me making a bookmark. So on Pinterest I saw this tutorial for a bookmark that was made using washi tape, and I thought that was really cool, and so I wanted to try it out. So I did that, and I made the bookmark so the colors kind of match the cover of The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. And that was a really fun and easy little bookish arts and craft, and I definitely recommend it. And so I will link the tutorial for that bookmark down below in case you're interested. In the tutorial they do use like cardstock paper, but I used a wooden bookmark because I already had those on hand. And I do think that it turned out really well with the wooden bookmark. But anyways, so the next audio you will hear while seeing the bookmark footage will be me talking about The Scorpion and the Night Blossom and my first thoughts. So this story takes place in a world where there are many different realms, and 3 of those realms are the mortal realm, the immortal realm, and the demon realm. And 10 years before our story starts, the demons break the wards between the demon realm and the mortal realm, and they invade the world of the humans. And the demons of this story are similar to vampires, as they look like beautiful humans, and they also devour the flesh of humans and drink their souls. However, unlike vampires that need blood to survive, these demons do not need human flesh and souls to survive. They simply like the taste of them. And so it's not too long until the demon queen defeats the human emperor and his armies. And so at the start of the book, many places have fallen into demon hands, but still some human strongholds do remain. And one of those places is a small village where our main female character, Anying, resides. Anying is 19 years old, and her world completely changed when the demons invaded. Before their invasion, she was learning sewing from her mother, who was a seamstress, and eventually she would have become one as well. But when demons invade the human realm, Anying's father ends up teaching her the art of partitioning so she'll be able to protect her family. So she trades her needles for crescent blades. In this world, there are some humans who can channel spirit energy, and they are called petitioners, and they are pretty rare. Anying's father was one of them, and they are warrior magicians who dedicate their lives to learning martial arts and cultivating their magic. However, not long into her father's teachings, her family is attacked by a very powerful demon, and the demon kills her father and leaves her mother in a catatonic state with only half a soul. And to this day, Anying doesn't understand why this demon killed her father but left her mother with half a soul and left her and her younger sister alive. But ever since that day, it has been up to Anying to take care of her younger sister, who was only 4 or 5 at the time of the attack, and her mother. When the demons invaded the human realm, in addition to giving Anying crescent swords, her father also gave her a jade pendant, and he told her to wear this jade pendant at all times because he said that inside it is a magical guardian that will protect her, and all she has to do is ask for its help. So in the beginning, Anying just wore the pendant to humor her father because she didn't really believe that it was magical. But after the demon attack, she is feeling hopeless and alone, and so out of desperation, she asks the jade pendant for help. And when she does, it begins to glow and writing appears on it. And because of the jade pendant, she learns that light lotuses will help her mother because they can be made into an elixir that helps replenish the mortal soul. However, this elixir isn't enough to completely heal her mother. It pretty much just barely keeps her mother alive. And then add to that, these flowers were rare, but they're becoming even rarer since the demons invaded the human realm. And then the jade pendant tells her that a pill of immortality could completely heal her mother's soul. And the only way to get this pill is to win the trials of the Temple of Dawn. And the Temple of Dawn is a petitioning school that is in the immortal realm, and it was set up to train mortals in the art of petitioning. And it's also where An Ying's father trained. And so An Ying heads off to the Temple of Dawn with the hopes of getting a pill of immortality. But before she leaves for the temple, she ends up finding a note from her father that says that he trained her for a reason. And before this, she just thought he trained her because she was the eldest sister. But his note says that the truth to everything is at the Temple of Dawn, is that she should seek out this person who is called the One of the Vast Sea. And so our story goes from there. So now for my thoughts. So far I'm very much enjoying this. The story, the characters, and the world building have just all so far been superb and masterfully crafted. The story is in first-person perspective from our main female character's point of view, and she herself as a character has her own unique voice right from page 1. Her name, An Ying, means cherry blossom in the dark, and it has a story behind it. And it's a story that her father has told her countless times. So she was born during the thickest blizzard of the winter. Her father had been lost in the snow, half frozen and unable to find his way home. But then he saw a flash of red in the dark. And that flash of red came from a single blossom that was on the tree in their yard that was in bloom. So he saw that blossom, and then he heard An Ying's cries, and that's how he found his way home. And An Ying's name reflects her character well because she is a spark of hope within the darkness of the world. She is her sister's hope, as her sister relies on her and believes that she'll be able to cure her mother. She's her mother's hope because she's trying to save her. And she's also the hope of the village. The reason her village has remained intact is because her father put up wards against the demons, and since he has died, An Ying has made sure those wards continue to be up and running. However, while An Ying is a symbol of hope for others, she herself tries not to be too hopeful, because over the last 10 years, she has just seen so many things and so many bad things have happened to her and the world around her that she has just had to toughen herself and harden her heart. And she even goes as far to call hope a sickness. But even though she is tough on the outside and she tries to harden herself against having too much hope, she does still have a soft side as well. And we have already gotten glimpses of that. And she ends up saving a half-human, half-fox girl from a demon, even though she herself says that half-breeds were never meant to exist and that they're kinda abominations. She still ends up saving this half-fox girl. It shows that beneath her outside tough exterior, she is actually very caring and kind-hearted. And then one other thing I want to mention about her name is that she says that the tree in their yard is a plum tree and not a cherry tree, so it almost seems like her father made a mistake with her name. Yet she says that her father doesn't make mistakes, only puzzles and secrets to those puzzles. And so that is one intriguing mystery in the story so far. And adding to that mystery is the jade pendant and the letter that her father left behind. I just really want to know who she is talking to through the jade pendant, because at one point she does ask the jade pendant who they are, and they say that they can't say, but they are as real as her, they're just far away. In addition to An Ying, another fascinating character that has been introduced is our potential love interest, Yu Chen. An Ying meets him on her way to the Temple of Dawn, and at first she mistakes him for a demon because he's so beautiful, and so she attacks him. And then after she realizes he is not a demon, the two of them end up forming an uneasy alliance to help each other reach the Temple of Dawn. And Yu Chen, so far, I love him. He is very much a charmer. He's cheeky and he has a devil-may-care attitude. And when An Ying tells him her name, he says, "Oh, that's a lovely name." And she thinks at first that he is mocking her, so she's like, "Don't make fun of my name." And he says, no, I seriously find it pretty. And he goes on to say, the songs and the poems all laud the beauty of nature in daylight, beneath the warmth of the sun. Rare are those who appreciate the beauty in darkness. So there's his charming side already coming out from the very first moment that they meet. And his cheeky side is shown because he ends up giving her the nickname Little Scorpion. And there's already been some really fun banter between the two of them. And in an attempt to be charming, but also kind of cheeky, he ends up offering her a flower. But the flower that he offers her is a scorpion lily, which is known for slicing the skin of those who try to pick it. And it's also a symbol of tragedy. So he goes to give her this flower and he says, a beautiful flower for a beautiful maiden. But she isn't falling for his charms and she rejects the flower and she retorts, a flower foretelling a tragic fate? You can keep it. And so that's just like one example of their banter that I really enjoyed. So Yu-Chen is the potential love interest, but also there has been another character that has just been introduced. I don't know too much about him yet because we just got like a glimpse of him. But it is possible he could be another love interest, so there might be a love triangle. So in addition to the characters, the world building so far has also been top-notch. And there is a lot of world building in the first 100 pages of the book, but it doesn't feel info dumpy at all, and it is seamlessly woven into the story. And throughout the story, we have been getting bits and pieces of it at appropriate times. So it does not feel like it's bogging down the story at all. And contrarily, the story has been moving along at a really quick pace, so there has been no time for boredom. And so far, I'm just loving this world that is rich with history and lore. And the magic system itself has also been sufficiently developed in these first 100 pages. And we gotten to see a little bit of the magic system through An Ying in her use of her crescent blades. And her crescent blades are infused with magic through talismans. And each of her swords has a different name depending on the power of the talisman. For example, she has a blade that is called Poison that poisons, a blade named Shield that blocks attacks, a blade named Striker that has increased attack power, and so on. And so I just find the blades and their magic like really cool. And also we gotten to see more of the magic system through our potential love interest, Yu-Chen, as well. And there was actually a moment in the story where he actually helps An Ying to better use her powers. So those are all my thoughts so far. Like I said, I am really enjoying this and I am very excited to read more. And so on that note, I'll be back once I've read more and have more thoughts. Hi, so it is now the next day and I'm here with a reading update. So I have made it to chapter 24, page 293. And so I have about 100 pages left, so I wanted to give one last update before I finish this. And I am at the point where I am loving this book. So I mentioned in my earlier update that there had been an introduction of another character that seemed like a second potential love interest. And so in the pages I have read since that update, we have gotten to see more of him and we got to find out who he is. And I had an idea about who he was and I was right. And it does really seem like he is going to be a second potential love interest. And I'm really liking his character. He is pretty much completely the opposite type of character from our first love interest, Yu-Chen. And they're pretty much, their personalities are like total opposites. They're like night and day. In Yu-Chen, they have very much of like the love-hate relationship going on. They have the forbidden attraction thing going on. And so the scenes between the two of them are very angsty and they go back and forth between being nice to each other and then being cold to each other. And it's because of certain circumstances. And in the beginning, like An Ying finds out something about him and she immediately is like, no, I can't like him. I have to stay away from him. And then in contrast, her scenes with the other potential love interests are just really cute and sweet and innocent. So those scenes made my heart really happy. And so it really seems like that second character is going to be a love interest, but we just still haven't gotten as much of him as we have of Yu-Chen, the first love interest so far. I really like Yu-Chen and the other potential love interests as characters. And so if there is a love triangle, it's gonna hurt me either way. So in addition to An Ying forming a relationship with Yu Chen and the other potential love interests, she also forms a relationship with 3 other individuals who are also undergoing the trials of the Temple of Dawn as well. And one of them is the half fox, half human girl that she saved earlier on in the book. And that character is just so precious. I love her. And so the half fox, half human girl and the 2 others that are her friends, they're kind of like the misfits among all the other people who are undergoing the trials. So they take An Ying under their wing, and very much found family vibes going on among their group, and it just makes my heart so happy. And along with all those character development things going on, the plot also continues to move along at a brisk pace with plenty of action and plot revelations. And so those are all my thoughts at the moment, and I will be back with my final thoughts once I finish this. The beginning of chapter 24 is like... What? Oh no. Oh no. The thoughts are coming together and I don't like what they're telling me. No, 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 no! I don't like where this is going! Oh my gosh, this revelation is so mean! Ugh. Oh my god, that's who she is? Wow. And that's who he is? What? I did not see this coming at all. The romance is like so tragic. This could end very badly. Oh dear. Okay, despite everything that just happened, a lot of crazy things, the ending is beautiful. So I finished The Scorpion and the Night Blossom, and 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I love this so much, and I ended up doing a spread for it in my reading journal, which is the footage you are seeing now. And the art that I used that I put on the top of the page in the spread is the 2 love interests in An Ying. And it's character art from the Fury Loot edition of the book, which, by the way, is a stunning edition, and I might have to add a copy to my bookshelves. And the 2 love interests were definitely one of the reasons why I loved this book, and I really loved both of them. With one of them, you get the enemies to lovers vibe, a tragic and forbidden love, all the tension and angst, and amazing banter. And then with the other, you get more of the innocent first love type relationship that's wholesome and heartwarming. And we did get more development of the second love interest in the last bit of the book, and we learned some more backstory about him. Though I did still feel like by the end I felt a little bit more connected to the first love interest, and I just feel like overall he got a little bit more development in this book. However, the way this book ends suggests that there might be more of a focus on the second love interest in the next book. And then in addition to adoring the love interest, I also loved our main character Anying, and near the end we do finally learn the truth about her name and more of her father's past. And there were just like a lot of revelations at the end of the book, and there were some that genuinely surprised me that I did not see coming. And speaking of the ending, while some very heart-wrenching things do happen near the ending in the book was in a way kind of wholesome and beautiful. And so while the book ends with some questions unanswered and some things that still need doing, it doesn't end on a huge cliffhanger. And I actually really liked how this ended, because like while I definitely want the second one as soon as possible, I don't feel like devastated by the ending of the book like I do in some books. And the second and final book, The Dragon and the Sun Lotus, comes out March 3rd, 2026. I also loved the magic system and world building. I thought the magic system was really cool, and there were some epic battle scenes in this book. The battle scenes, training scenes, and trials definitely gave me anime vibes, which I loved. And they especially reminded me of Demon Slayer and Naruto, so if you're a fan of either of those or anime in general, I definitely recommend checking out this book. And so those are all my thoughts on The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. If you read this one, let me know down below what you thought of it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!